Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is me, Hisham Abu Mustafa, lecturer in English Linguistics and Translation, executive of the Department of English Language and Translation at the Faculty of Sciences and Arts in Qasim University, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Today, inshallah, I not alone, but I have a host and a guest, Ms. Vanessa Ellen. She's the owner of IELTS Prep, and she's a native English speaker. She has an 8-year experience in teaching English. She's based in Egypt, and she is deeply interested in teaching English for non-natives and in teaching speaking and pronunciation and preparing for IELTS. She has a passion actually, and she has her own way of teaching and for explaining things in English. Actually, I'm honored to be with her today, and I'm honored to be with all of you, to have all of you with us today, inshallah. Inshallah, this session is a webinar on sounds versus letters, commonly mispronounced words, examples and solutions. So we're going to explain many mispronunciation examples in the English language and why do we face these mispronunciations in English, okay? How can we correct the pronunciation of these examples, okay? So I'm going to ask Vanessa to start and to tell me to welcome all of you. Yes, please.
Yes. Hello, everybody, and thank you, Hisham, for having me on your webinar. It's my honor to be here with you and with all these beautiful people. I'm very honored to be here. So thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Like Hisham said, I've been teaching in Egypt for quite a few years now, and I do really want to help students to improve their pronunciation, not only students actually, but also teachers, because I quite often hear from my students, but my teacher told me this, my teacher told me to say it that way. So, by helping each other, we can help the future generations to be able to speak better English, which is very important, I think. So hopefully this webinar and what we're going to give today will help you to be able to help your students if you're a teacher. And we will hopefully have some fun along the way.
Thank you very much. Thanks. I appreciate your words and your participation. Let's start with some questions here. Let's ask our audience, okay? How many sounds are there in English and how many letters? Of course, we know 26 letters, but do you think we have 26 sounds in the English language? Can you write? Can you write in the chat? Write for everyone, okay? So we can all see your answers, okay? We're just sharing. What do you think? How many sounds do we have in the English language? We have 26 sounds in the English language, like the letters.
My answer is too many. We have too many sounds. What's everybody saying? I can only see the chat to you, Hisham. I can't see anybody else's.
Because they are writing direct messages, I think. Please write the message to everyone, okay? Write your message to everyone in the waiting room. These are not secret messages, okay? How many? Yes. 44 sounds. 44 sounds, 44 sounds. Yes, great.
Is 44 the correct answer?
Yeah, in the British accent, 44.
In the
But in
British
the
accent.
American accent, we
What?
have some.
The American accent, something different. Okay.
Yeah, some vowels are not. In the American accent, they say 42, but actually, you may find more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So 44 is the answer.
Okay. Um, the commonest question is, and I'm asking you, Vanessa, I'm asking you, the commonest
Mm.
question: can we depend on a spelling and our pronunciation?
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah. So at school, we learn that spelling is the most important thing. And if you learn spelling, naturally you can get the pronunciation. Okay. So just spell the word correctly and you will get its pronunciation naturally. So this is our topic today, the harmony or the lack of harmony between sounds and letters. Okay. So do you think there is this harmony? They are harmoniously living together, sounds and letters?
Oh, for me they are. but for learners, no, they're not. There's no harmony at all.
Okay, so today we're going to make them harmonious and we want to have to negotiate with them, okay, to have them live harmoniously. We'll try. Okay, as you have just said, that there is no harmony between sounds and or there is lack of harmony between sounds and letters, of course, for non-natives. Okay, so how can we show this or prove this to others if we are asked that we can depend on letters in our pronunciation? Okay, we can depend on letters in our pronunciation. So uh, Vanessa, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yes, I can see you. I don't know what happens.
I'm here.
Yes. Yeah. The letter A, the first letter in the English alphabet. Okay, so is it pronounced as a?
No, for
A.
this word, no, it's ah.
So in these words, we can find man. It's a.
Mm.
But in this word, it's not when we say man. So logically, we should say woman, right? If we depend on the spelling, right? So it's not woman, it's woman. You take it for granted. You think
Woman.
it's easy, but actually, if we think logically, it's the same spelling. So it would be woman. So it's woman. So
Yes.
it's the same letter,
Mm.
but how many sounds? One, two. Also here, it's not car. Car, like man. Can we say car? Is it possible?
Nope.
No.
Ah.
Ah. So it's the same letter, but another different sound. So it's ah. Whoa. Whoa. It's o. So we have the fourth sound and the same letter. So this is care, 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 right? That is right. Care. And it's similar to car, by the way. It's similar to it, right? We add E here, but the change is not in the E. The change is in the A. Okay, so it becomes another diphthong, And by the way, in Egypt, we don't pronounce it correctly. This semi-vowel, this diphthong, we don't pronounce it correctly. And even you would find it written kir, kir, kir with kir. Okay, so it's like the air, the air. Okay,
Yes.
and also cage, cage. So we have here the same sound, but the same letter, but six different sounds. So I think it will be difficult to depend on spelling in order to guess pronunciation. Otherwise, we can make six mistakes in order to reach the correct pronunciation. Each time we can try all the bag of tricks in order to reach the correct pronunciation.
True. Yes.
Here we have the sound like pen, 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 pen. This sound can be written in all these ways. Please, Vanis, can you read these words?
I can. End. End. Bread. Bread. Berry. Berry. Friend. Friend.
Yeah.
Said.
Do the same sound again. Yeah.
Yeah. Many. Many. Leopard. Leopard. Heifer.
So what about
heifer.
the O in leopard? Leopard. No O.
It's leopard. I don't know. We're just going to ignore the O. Let's just ignore it. Leopard.
Yeah, this is actually strange spelling. One of the strangest spelling. So it's leopard, leopard, although it's written EO. So anyone who sees non-natives, of course, they cannot guess it easily, of course. You have leopard, to pronounce it leopard, it's not easy at all to guess it. So it's not one of the easy words to pronounce, yes. The leopard cannot change its spots, as they say. And the English pronunciation cannot change its mispronounced.
Exactly. And then you're challenging me with the last one because this is a bit of a mouthful to say. Aesthetic. Aesthetic.
Yes,
Aesthetic.
Yeah. So also it has a e, and it's pronounced as
Yeah.
yes. So and this word is heifer. Heifer. This is a small cow. Heifer. It's also EI, not IE, like friend. So all these ways of writing the same sound. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 ways of spellings for the same sound. It's the same sound, okay? But 9 ways of spelling. So it's not easy to predict.
No.
Okay, let's start today's.
Actually, Hisham, can I just ask, if you don't mind, or if maybe you'd like to leave this till a little bit later, could I ask all the attendees, not everybody has to answer, but how, as if anybody is a teacher here, how they actually teach their students the pronunciation of words?
You want them to write the answer?
Yeah, in the chat box. I
Yes,
think it would
please.
be interesting to see.
This is a question for teachers, of course.
Yes.
How can you teach pronunciation?
So what do they do in order to avoid these types of pronunciation errors with their students?
Yes, of course, we all face these problems in classes. So how can you solve these problems? So please don't write direct messages, okay? Share it to all of us, okay? Share your message.
Yeah, I still can't see any chats. Hisham, can you change it in your in your part to switch it to everybody?
Yes, okay. Yes. Now you can address anyone, okay? You can address everyone here.
There we go. Okay.
Please choose everyone. Choose everyone, okay? Choose everyone. You have choices. Choose everyone.
Yeah, I can see it now. Give more than one example for the same sound. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone before wrote to me by through transcription, okay?
Mm.
Choral and individual drills, listening to native speakers, to teach sounds in phonics time. Yes, how?
Mm.
By asking students to repeat sound after me. Uh, Follow the phonetic rules and listen to native speakers. So if they find a mistake or if they find a difficulty, they can call you and ask you to a native speaker, hello, can you explain to me the pronunciation of this word all the time? So yeah, listening to native speakers, but sometimes we face a problem now. My students cannot pronounce correctly. How can we convince them that this word, which is written in this way, can be pronounced in that way? Okay,
Mm.
so this is the problem. The student writes many letters, and when he's asked to pronounce, he has to forget many of these letters in pronunciation.
I saw that Sama, sorry if I've mispronounced your name there, that Sama said connected to Arabic, connected to Arabic sounds.
But actually, this is a problem. And
Yeah, is that?
sometimes they say that it's like this
Mm,
sound in Arabic. It's like, for example, oo in Arabic, or wow in Arabic, or okay, or ba in Arabic. But this would make problems because even the similar letters, the similar sounds in Arabic and English, they are not completely the same. They are different.
mm,
So if you say ra, ra, so many students, we have it in Arabic, but we have in Arabic, it's called the trill, ra, trill, ra,
mm.
ra, ra. So some would say red, red, not red in the English language because they say that it's like the Arabic language. Okay, so the comparisons between the comparisons or the contrasting between the Arabic and the English would lead to other mistakes.
Mm. Um, I think Suad said that I cannot hear the voice. You might need to just check your audio settings there. Make sure that your
I
speakers
think
are up.
Sally wrote, ask them to listen to and use audio dictionary on their mobiles. Of
Mhm.
course, mobile phones now have made things easier. Okay, the past it was not available. Something like this was not available.
Mm.
How they can distinguish between similar letters like the p and the ba. Samah, is asking how they can distinguish between similar letters like p and ba. We have the ba sound in Arabic. Yes, of course, they are totally different.
Mm.
When you
I
teach,
think, sorry, Hisham, I think um, the answers that we're seeing here is about individual, more so consonants, the pronunciation of consonants rather than the vowel sounds. Um, what we've just been going through is the difference in the vowel sounds, not just not the consonants. So, I was thinking back to when I was a child. Now I know that I acquired the language as a native speaker, so I'm not acquiring it as a second language. But I was trying to think back to when I was in first or second grade trying to learn words. I mean, I can't really remember that far back, but what I do remember is repetition, and they would group the words together like cat, mat, sat. The cat sat on the mat. So the way that they grouped, this is all that I remember, by the way, the way that they grouped the sounds, the individual vowel sounds, um, and I mean, I know that the
yeah,
spelling is the same for that, but the that's how they used to do it from what I remember. Um, I think it's quite difficult to learn from clips and movies unless you are a more advanced student, because they might be able to hear it, but are they going to then be able to produce it if a student is at a lower level? They might not even be able to understand the word to start with if they're at a lower level. So whilst I think songs and movies are excellent and tongue twisters are excellent, I think there still needs to be some understanding of how the sounds change, and how there are different sounds there with the same letter, with the same vowel.
yes, yes. Yes, this is right, actually. Listening is not enough. They say that listening is not enough, especially for adults, because we have mature language, the Arabic language. So there would be interference between the Arabic language and the English language. So it's
Mm,
not easy to listen just to listen. And sometimes I do this. When a student listens to the word and he's asked to repeat, he repeats it wrongly. And he said that no, I cannot notice that there is a mistake
mm,
because it's not easy to evaluate yourself.
mm,
So you say pen, he say ben, ben. I say no pen, ben. He cannot notice that, but because I didn't teach him how to pronounce it, that there is a difference here. And so in many of the sound, the differences, and especially in vowels, the differences are very slight differences. So it's not easy to say boot, boat, boot, boat, and he can differentiate between them. He would say boot, boot.
mm.
And when you ask him, he say, "No, I feel that there is a difference, but I cannot do it." Okay, so just listening many times, you would repeat the same mistakes. It's something like when you have a dictionary and you write a different word which is not in the lexicon or in the dictionary itself. He would show you the nearest word to it. But if this word is not in the dictionary, he would not give you this word. It's not in its data. Okay, so if you write this word in which is not in the dictionary, he would show you a list of words which are near in spelling to this word. This is the same thing. You would produce the nearest word to it in Arabic, because I don't know this in Arabic. I don't know this sound, so I can imitate you, but I can give something similar to it.
So,
Okay.
Hisham, what would your advice be for all the teachers out there? What would your advice be to to how to teach these differences to avoid the mistakes? And I'm
Number
specifically
one,
talking about the ones that we've looked at. I'm not talking about all pronunciation errors. I'm just talking about the differences between the vowel pronunciations.
actually, what I do is like this. Number one, to teach them the 44 sounds. Each sound, okay, I start with vowels. Normally I start with vowels because vowels, yes, they are more difficult. And to differentiate between each vowel sound in minimal pairs, as you know, and in minimal sets, and not to teach. I'm not teaching. I'm asking them to practice each sound, each vowel, and they are going to repeat, and I give them feedback. As you said, yes, it may take a lot of time. They may repeat many, and they may, okay, and you allow them for mistakes. Do not ask them that, no, how can you make this mistake? No, allow and expect the mistakes of your students.
Mm.
And I ask my students also, because they are teachers, I ask them to expect the mistakes of their students. So don't say pen and ben, and ask them that they expect that your students would accept it. No, it takes a lot of time to make this mistake calcified. Okay, so it's not easy to erase the mistake in one session. Okay, so expect it. So after studying these vowels, we focus also on the similar vowels, the vowels which are similar or which mispronounced commonly because they are not found in Arabic, especially the diphthongs, for example. Okay, so vowels like oo, and the diphthong o, they are always, or most of the time, they are mispronounced. Okay, because students don't know how you can make this diphthong, and the difference between that you change the place of your mouse, start at one place and go smoothly to another. So they make these mistakes. Okay, so it takes me time to prepare the teacher for understanding the differences between these sounds. After this, we try to make comparisons between the minimal sets. For example, pen, pin, pan, pun, and so on. Okay, so they practice, and I give feedback all the time. So it's practical sessions.
Mm.
The problem that at college, especially college for teachers, English, the English departments, they teach phonetics and phonology, but theoretically. Everything is theoretical, just from the book. So you can write. If you ask students, he would say that the p is a voiceless bilabial plosive consonant. It's pronounced by the complete obstruction of the airflow, then suddenly released. Excellent description, okay? But when you ask him to pronounce, he would say ba. After all this description, he would say it book, bin, bin. So what's the use of writing, okay, correct information about
Mm.
the letter? You described it perfectly, but you cannot pronounce it. The most important thing is show me how you can do this. Okay, so practice. Everything you teach with its practice. When you teach a sound, you ask them to practice what you taught them. Okay, so actually I take the 44 sounds in 6 sessions. It takes me 6 sessions to teach them this in small groups. Okay, it's not a lecture, because sometimes also in at college you may find that there are 400 students, okay, and you're teaching them. But okay, you say it, you pronounce it correctly, and you show them, but you don't know whether they can do this or not.
Mm.
Okay, they are just listening to you, and you are describing the sounds, and they are doing this. Okay, the most important thing for teachers of English before teaching phonetics or pronunciation, they should make sure that the pronunciation is okay. Not perfect, but at least okay. That they know the differences between vowels and the, but some teachers start teaching and using audio and making students listen, but the teacher himself cannot pronounce correctly. So the student would ask, if you yourself cannot practice this, why are you asking me to practice? So it's not that easy. You should start uh, teaching pronunciation practice. Okay, and for little children, I think that we shouldn't use terms and consonants and vowels, the difference between consonants and vowels and aspiration. No, they are children, but they can easily get the language. They can receive the language easily. Okay, they can receive it better than me because now I'm an old man, not very old, but
No, you're
anyhow.
not that old.
Okay. So I have, it's not easy to learn a new language, okay? Because I have a language, but for the little child, if you pronounce the sound correctly in front of him or her, they would easily accept new this information, okay? And I think this is a benefit, this is an advantage, because those who are teaching primary school students or little children, they have the advantage of either teaching them correct English, which may be fixed, or incorrect English, which may also be fixed. They can implant the correct pronunciation or the mispronunciation.
Yeah.
Okay, Vanessa, can we start
Okay.
with
Yes.
examples?
Sure.
Consonant clusters. We would distinguish between different types of mispronunciation. Okay, consonant clusters. Wave, wave. What about the plural? You can help me. What about the plural? Wave, waves. What do you think?
Waivers, waivers. Vanessa has waivers. Waves,
Wave.
waves.
Ah, this is difficult sometimes for non-natives. Why? Because we don't have this consonant clusters. We need a vowel to make it smooth. Okay, and as I told you once, that we are fair enough to pronounce each letter. So here we have E written. Okay, so we should pronounce it because we are fair and just enough to pronounce each letter we write. So we viz. So of course, as you said, the correct pronunciation is waves, waves. Okay, so if I pronounce it help and helbid, what do you think?
Nope. Helped.
Help,
Helped.
help. Here we have three consonants. La, ba, da. Help. It's also more difficult to get all of them without a vowel. So if a student doesn't learn it, it would be easier to say helped. You understand? So this is them. Move, move. So in the past, it would be move it.
Moved. I moved. I moved house last week. Moved.
Moved,
Moved.
moved. Okay.
Yes.
So you would help us to correct the mispronunciations, or would help you to have these mispronunciations.
The waves. Yes. The waves helped. I'm trying to think of the sentence to put them all into. The waves helped me and I moved in the water. There we go.
Great. Yeah, 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 great. Yeah. So this is, let's try this. Okay, I'm going to try to pronounce logically. Okay, logically. Break. This is correct?
Correct.
Yeah. What is this word?
Fast.
So I can guess that it's a break fast.
Well, maybe you break slowly. Maybe you don't break fast. But the correct pronunciation is breakfast.
Your voice, I think that I can't hear you.
Okay. The correct pronunciation is breakfast.
Breakfast, yes. So here, although it is composed of two words, break and fast, when they become a compound noun, it's not the same pronunciation of each separate word. So also this is confusing.
Mhm. It is.
Let's have another example, another guessing. This is bar and this is gain. So it's a bargain,
No, it's not. It's a
right?
bargain. It's a
Bargain.
bargain.
But I'm trying it logically, okay? I'm trying to use logic, okay? But the problem is with English, not with me. So let's try this. Help, and this is full. So this is helpful.
Helpful.
Okay, great. So also, this is here, it's a word, full. But when it becomes a suffix, it's not full, it's helpful. Helpful. They say that this is a syllabic la, syllabic la. Okay, so we don't pronounce it into two, as if they were two words, two separate words. Okay, they have become a new structure. So don't depend on the pronunciation of each part of the word. Some people divide the words into syllables in order to pronounce each syllable as if it were a separate word. And they think that this is the best way to make it easier and simpler to pronounce. Okay. So in this way, I would say helpful. And you may hear this. Oh, count, count, and able. Count and able. So I can guess that it's a countable.
Or it could be countable. But cown is not a word. Coun is not a word. So we can't say count table and we can't say count able. It's countable.
Countable. Yes. But the problem is that it has able in it.
Yes.
Yes, by the way, it was. I'd like you to remind you of something also. The British accent. Yes, some people say that the British accent is the accent of Shakespeare, and it's no longer spoken. It's only the modern accent which is spoken is the American accent. But this the British accent is the language of Shakespeare and Charles Dickens.
Hang on. What am
I
I
heard
speaking
something
then?
like this.
What am I speaking? I'm not speaking American English. the Queen, the Queen does not speak American English. It's her English, the Queen's English.
Yes, so the Queen's English is it's only for the Queen. It's
Yeah.
the Queen.
And me.
It's made for the
And
Queen.
me. And me when I try to do it.
Yeah, and you, and you're a queen also. So, okay, that's great. So I hear this that the British accent is a conservative accent. It's used by politicians, and the British accent is not used in the street. People speak the American accent in the street as if the British people are all the time using formal language all the time. They are speaking like Shakespeare, like Hamlet and Othello.
Well, well, they do, but they don't walk around saying thy will buy. We don't say thy and thee, and we don't use those terms. But I will say that a lot of the Americanisms, a lot of the American slang language has come into British English. Yes.
Yes.
So, and you will also hear it in British movies, even though the accent might be there, the British accent, they might still be using some Americanisms and slang. So it is creeping in, but that is because I believe because of music and films. But if you go to the UK, you will have a variety of different accents, and they will all be speaking British English. not American English.
Yes, I noted this. It was in a training course. I had a training course, um, what's called format, the format course, the international course, and it was taught by two American instructors. One of them, he was Korean American, okay, but all the time I noticed that he was using the British accent. So I talked to him after the lecture. I talked to him, "You are an American. Why do you use the British accent?" He told me, "Oh my God, maybe because I'm watching some episodes. I didn't remember the name of the British episode, so I was affected by it." So these demarcations between the American accent and the British accent does not mean that that all the American people can not be affected by the British accent if they live, for example, you may be British, okay, but you live in America for some time, so you can get some uh, pronunciation changes from them, okay. And at the same time, the dialect, something else. The dialect is the use
Mm,
of some words and expressions.
mhm.
You
Yes.
may use some words, you are British, but you may use some American slang language from, as you said, from movies and so on, but because you are affected by these expressions, okay. So uh, maybe because the Americanisms are publicized through the media. Everything
Yes.
now is, yeah, spread by the media.
Mhm.
We have here child, and then
Children.
children. So it's not a children.
No, it's not a children. It's
Although
it's
it's the same
children.
word, child here and the child here, okay. But they
Yes.
say that this is called internal vowel change. Internal vowel change. That this vowel sound is a change. But of course, it's not seen. It changes in pronunciation, but in spelling,
Mhm.
this is con, and this is my own mistake when I was at the College of Education. When I just the first
This
year,
is a great one.
I, con and science. So it's a con science,
It is.
logical enough.
It is. Yes, it's logically conscience. Yes. Conscience.
Conscience. Actually,
Why?
when
I
I
don't know.
yeah, so when I joined the college, I was astonished at the same time to hear it. I used to read it from the dictionary, consci- uh, to read it conscience. So I found it logical enough. This is con and this is science. So it's logical enough to pronounce it like this. And at the time there was no dictionaries. There is no dictionary. There were no dictionaries which have sounds or something like this. So I read many words from the dictionary and pronounce them as they were written. Okay, because I was deeply interested in English. And when I joined the college, I found that some students are pronouncing differently, and the doctors also pronounce differently. So I found it, how can I check this? I pronounce all words in this way, okay? So furniture, I pronounce it furniture. So so each time I pronounce, I find that it's funny for others. So what should I do? I know the spelling. I said, okay, this is my spelling, okay? I'm not going to pronounce them. I'm going to write them in the exam. So many students till now, they think that the exams are written. So we should depend on writing. No need to
Mm,
say it to speak, okay? The exams are written.
mm,
This is Christ, right?
mhm. Yes.
Yes. And this is Mass.
Yes.
So it's a Christ Mass.
No, it's Christmas. Christmas.
So I cannot guess. This word is used in Egypt here. It's pronounced as if it were an Arabic word, okay? We commonly use it, okay, because we have many fans of this game. So we say football,
Food, food, football,
football.
foot. I can't even say it the way you Egyptians say it. Food, foot. I can't say
Oh, you're developing
sometimes.
an Egyptian accent.
Sometimes
Good,
they
good.
will just say, "Ah, I played foot on the weekend." Well, what's foot?
Foot.
What are you playing foot? No, you need to say football. You can't just play foot.
Yeah, because it has double O and double O, maybe in word like food, food.
Yes,
Okay.
foot, football, football.
Yes. This is also a very common word, which is yeah, which is here to be mispronounced. Uh, come, and this is for, and this is table, right?
Yes. So it's
Right?
going to be come for table.
Table. Yes, come for table.
Come for table. Come
Yes,
for table.
come for table. Yes.
Comfortable. Now, this is actually the pronunciation of this word can be two ways: comfortable or comfortable. Comfortable is actually the correct pronunciation because the OR turns into the schwa. So the O is the schwa. Comfortable. But for lazy natives like me, we will often just remove the schwa altogether and just say comfortable.
Again, the last thing,
Comfortable.
comfortable. Yes.
No, I'm not putting any vowel sound in between the F and the T. I'm removing it altogether. Comfortable.
Comfortable. Comfortable.
Comfortable. Exactly. Comfortable. But as I said, the correct pronunciation is comfortable, comfortable.
Ah, yeah. That's
But
right.
others, like me, being lazy, will just say comfortable because it's too difficult to add a slight schwa sound. We don't have time. We're too lazy to add a very slight schwa sound. So we just make it even shorter and say comfortable.
No, we're active enough to add all the vowels. Don't worry. So we say comfortable.
Sorry, just 1 second, Hisham.
Yes.
Sorry, Muhammad is asking, can you say it again, please? Football, football, football. So
Yes.
I hope that's okay. I hope you wanted the correct pronunciation there, Muhammad, and not the incorrect pronunciation. Football. Okay,
Football.
yeah.
This is in, and as you know, this is a prefix, and it gives the opposite of an adjective. So this is in, and this is the adjective famous. So logically, if we add it, it would be infamous.
No, well, if you walked around saying infamous, you wouldn't be famous. You would be infamous.
Infamous. Yeah. So it's infamous to pronounce it infamous.
Mm,
It's infamous to do this. Yeah, it's an infamous mistake.
yes.
So actually, yes, it's confusing actually. When you see it for the first time, you can't guess it. I know the word famous, so when you add a prefix, so all the time I ask my students all the time to doubt what they are reading. If they find a new word, do not make sure that you can pronounce it without checking the dictionary. Yes, it may have an unexpected pronunciation. This is and this is land. So if we put them together, it would be island.
Well, it could be, is land available? Is land available here? No, it's not, because we're on an
Is
island.
land available? Yeah.
It's an it's an island.
Island, yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm just looking at a couple of the chats here. Sally was asking, can we pronounce the word correctly and wrongly to know the differences clearly? Okay, so island, island.
Island, yes. Island. If I pronounce it into two parts, and if I pronounce the first part and the second part, and this is wrongly, as you said, but it's pronounced island, island,
Mm,
as if it
yeah,
it has no relation with its components. Okay, so it would be much more confusing to depend on the spelling of each part. If I know that this is and this is land, it would be confusing, not helpful. It wouldn't be helpful in my pronunciation.
yes.
Actually, some people pronounce this word polis. In Egypt, some people pronounce this word polis. Although in English, they say polis,
No, we don't.
but in Arabic, we use the word police. We use the word police to refer to translate the word police into police. We say it in Arabic. It's ashorta. The correct or the classical Arabic term is ashorta, but we use police, but with ba, police. Okay, but when they find it in English, they say no. Of course, in English they pronounce it differently. So in English, it's a police. Okay, but of course, yes, it's police, right?
It's police.
And this is man. So
Mm,
many people say policeman,
policeman.
policeman. Yes. So here, the man here is just schwa,
Mm,
which is more strange in the plural form. We have police and men, but we hear it also policeman.
policeman. They're the
No
same to
change.
me.
Yeah.
I mean, so they're different to me. Policeman, policeman.
Where the
Hang on.
difference?
I think the difference comes when you're attaching. I saw a policeman. There are three policemen.
Yes, but you are talking about, I'm talking about the word itself. Yes, in context,
Mm,
it can be shown that it's singular or plural, but the pronunciation, it's policemen. It's not policemen.
yeah, policeman.
So it's also schwa.
Yes.
Also, the famous city, Oxford. We write it Oxford. Okay, many people say it Oxford, and we write it Oxford in Arabic like this. But also, it's not Ford, right? It's not
Oxford.
Oxford. Oxford.
Yes. It's not Oxford. It's Oxford. Oxford.
This is one of the commonest mistakes here
Hisham,
because we write it in Arabic.
sorry, can I just interrupt you there for 1 second?
Yes.
Because Hisham in the chat has said, I heard a British man pronouncing it as follows: police without the O, police, which again is an example of a lazy native speaker, just
Please,
ignoring the
please,
O and just being lazy. Police, police,
please. Oh,
police. Yeah, I have to call the police.
please. Yeah. So
He
this is
was a diplomat. He was a diplomat. Well, even some diplomats get lazy when they're speaking. It could also be where he's from. So whether his own dialect, his own uh, area. You hardly understood him. Yeah, quite possibly. Maybe he could have been from the north of England. But yes, yeah.
Do
Sorry,
you
Hisham,
find
off you.
difficulty in understanding, for example, the Cockney accent, or those with the Cockney, the story, the other acts, the Welsh people? Do you find difficulty in understanding them, or it's easy?
No, it's difficult. It is difficult. Not so much the Cockney, but certainly the further north you go in the
Yeah,
UK, the harder it is. When you get up to sort of like Newcastle and Liverpool and Scotland, forget it. I mean, if you go, some of the Scottish accent is so difficult that you just go, what? What are you saying? Because you
yeah, as
can't
if it were not
understand.
English.
Yeah, you might it depends on their accent. Sorry, it depends on how thick their accent is. So if they've got a really thick, really strong Scottish accent, then it becomes much harder. The Welsh, yes, the Welsh is not as difficult as the Scottish or even the Irish, but certainly the accents in the UK are so varied that they can be difficult. Yeah, they can be difficult.
Yes, actually, when we say that we are teaching, and for example, when I say that I have a course in teaching British accent, I don't mean all the accents. Some students think that the British accent is mean that England, there is only one accent, okay, which all the British people speak. But there are many accents, but we focus on the so-called the RP, the
Mm,
received pronunciation. But
yes.
not, we cannot teach all the English accent or the British accents, okay? So this is the RP, which is not spoken by the majority of the English people, but it's spoken by 3%, that they say, 3% of the English people, but actually it's the language of the media, the language of the government, the language of the Queen, as you said. That's why it's called the Queen's English.
Yes. Um, Sorry, Hisham, just once again, I'll just interrupt you there. Radwa is asking, can we add the word paralysis to the list? Because she heard it mispronounced.
The word paralysis,
Paralysis,
paralysis, yeah.
paralysis,
Actually,
paralysis,
most of the medical
which is
words
different to paralyze. Hmm.
paralyze the verb, paralysis the noun, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, most of the medical words actually are mispronounced because they are, as you know, they are difficult words for us. They are difficult and long words, but we depend on their spellings because uh, colleges of medicine and college of pharmaceutical studies, they study everything in English, but of course it's written in books, so you read it as it is written, okay.
Yeah.
Some
Uh,
Muhammad wrote, could you please pronounce these words? You can
yeah.
see them.
Yes, I can. Sally's also asked. Let me start with Sally because she was first. Um, okay, so we've got library. Library is library.
Yes,
Library, not
library.
library, library.
No, I think in the American library, in the American library, library, in the American accent,
I don't,
library.
not sure. Don't confuse us with the American. We're not interested in the American accent. It's wrong. Theirs is wrong. British is correct. Well, in my mix of Australian and British accent, I say library,
Yeah,
library.
I
Um,
also say this.
Dictionary, dictionary is dictionary,
Yeah,
dictionary.
but in the American accent,
Preparatory,
they say dictionary. Yes.
yeah, forget the American. Pre, prepar, preparatory is preparatory,
Yeah,
preparatory.
preparatory.
It's even difficult for me. Preparatory. And laboratory is laboratory, laboratory,
Yeah,
or lab. Lab's the easiest one. Just
yeah,
say I'm
yeah.
in the lab.
Commonly we say lab, yes. Commonly we say lab. Even in Arabic, we say lab. We write
Uh-huh.
it lab. In Arabic, we say
Okay.
lab. Instead, it's in Arabic, it's called ma'mal. But we use it just to be, for using English terms. We like to use English terms in our life, but we mispronounce them, okay?
Okay. So Muhammad, we've got cotton, cotton.
Yeah, this is an Arabic
Now
word. This is an Arabic word.
we're going to come back to that second one. Antarctic, Antarctic, and library. We've done library. Now, world. I think have we got this in the slides, Hisham, about world?
Yes, yes, we're going to.
Okay, so we'll come back to that one. And is that it? In library, we drop the R. Yes, library, library. We drop the second R. Library. No, we dropped the first R. Library. We dropped the R and the A, actually. Library. Library.
Yeah, its transcription is library, library, and there is nothing
Mm,
between the ba and the library. Ba and
yes.
library.
Yes. Library. Extraordinary. Extraordinary. Again, we're not going to say the airy, extraordinary,
Extraordinary, because
extraordinary.
also if
So
we
the
divide it
A
into
R
extra
Y
and
just becomes
ordinary, many people say
R Y.
extraordinary,
Extraordinary. Mm,
as if
yes.
it were two words.
Extraordinary. Yes. Okay, great. All right, let's move
Okay.
on from the.
Thank you for your comments and thank you for your explanations, Ms. Vanessa. Your explanations.
Pleasure.
Also, we have this word and this universe, this great university. Uh, Actually, it's composed of Cam and Bridge. Actually, I hear many people saying, I have a degree from Cambridge. He has a
No,
degree from it, but I don't know, before taking this degree or holding this degree, or he didn't ask them about the name of, is it Cambridge?
he certainly didn't come to Cambridge. Otherwise, he would be pronouncing Cambridge correctly.
Well, it's very famous because in Arabic we write it Cambridge. Cambridge. We write it in Arabic Cam with a. So many people pronounce it like this. You would hear it Cambridge, not Cambridge. Cambridge. So
Cambridge. Cambridge.
this is also a common mistake. This is a stop, and this is born. So I can guess it. Stubborn?
Stubborn. Stubborn. Stubborn.
Stubborn.
Stubborn.
And the idiom is as stubborn as a mule, right? As stubborn as a mule. Very
Yes.
stubborn. Also, the very famous word, and we use it in Arabic. We say it in Arabic, of course. We don't have translation for it. It's sandwich in Arabic.
Send, sandwich. Sandwich?
Sandwich. Sandwich. We don't,
Sandwich.
we don't have an Arabic
Sand-
word for it, by the way. We say it sandwich,
yes.
sandwichet, sandwiches.
Now, some people will say sandwich. Sandwich, if they're speaking quite fast, the D almost is omitted. So it will sound like they're saying sandwich, sandwich, but
Sandwich.
we do say sandwich,
And
sandwich.
also
The D is
sandwich.
there. Even if it's
Sandwich.
soft, it's there. Sandwich, sandwich.
Yeah.
The word message, message, is it, it's message, not message, message. Okay, thank you.
Message. Message.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Message. Yeah. And there is massage. Massage.
Massage. Yeah.
This is something else. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here, commonly mispronounced monosyllabic words. Words which are very short, they are very short, but actually they are commonly mispronounced because we don't expect this pronunciation. Many people say onion, onion.
Onion. Onion. Yes, they do say onion. And that's not just in this part of the world. That is also a mispronunciation over in Japan, China. For people in that part of the world, they also mispronounce it and say onion, onion.
Onion, yeah, you're right. And this one is oven,
Oven. It's oven. No, it's oven.
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 But it's really strange, oven, oven. But if you remove the n, it would be over.
Mm.
So that's why many people don't pronounce it as oven. Yeah.
Yeah. And as Russia just said, it's the strong schwa sound that's being used there. The
The ah. Yeah.
schwa
Yeah.
instead
It,
of
it
the
has
o.
ah at the beginning, you mean? The
Yes,
first sound? Ah.
yes,
Yeah. Ah.
yes.
Oven.
Sorry, Hisham. Before you continue on, Mr. Ali was saying about in British in the phonetic spelling of the word library. Yes, it is. It is pronounced library, library. But that's what I was saying. The way that I say it is library, and again, it's that lazy pronunciation of a native speaker, library. So that is the difference.
Yes,
Okay,
the dictionary,
sorry,
even
Hisham.
Oxford Dictionary provides two versions of the pronunciation of the word. For even in the British accent, he says he gives it two pronunciations, not only one. As you said, library is one of them. Library is one of them.
What I'm
So
going to do, just for the purposes of time, I'm going to write down the words that people are typing into the chat, and then once we get through the slides, I can go back and say what those words are, just to save time.
I think this
uh,
is questioning grammar. Is it right to say the commonest mistake or the most common mistake?
the most
Actually,
common mistake.
the most common mistake.
The commonest mistake.
Actually,
The most common mistake.
in the dictionary, you would find that it's the commonest. Okay, in the dictionary. But actually, what is common is to pronounce it as you said, the most commonest, the most common. Sorry, the most common. Yes, you.
Yeah,
So it's commonly pronounced. It's commonly said the most common, as you said. But in
yeah.
dictionaries, they say that the correct is the commonest.
Um, I have never said the commonest in my life. I never have.
Yeah.
Never. So, whilst, and this is the thing, sometimes a lot of these words are correct, but they're not used anymore. Even though they're not wrong, they're just not in use in normal day language anymore. So that's happens with quite a lot of words actually.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, Mohammed, I'm going to answer your question about empty. I'm going to answer it at the end. Let's get through the slides, and then I've written it down, so I will pronounce that when we finish the slides. Yeah.
So this word is, some people pronounce it Hawaii.
Why? Why? Why would they say why when it's why?
Why? Yeah. So it's like the pronunciation of the letter Y. The
Yes,
letter
exactly
Y.
the same.
Yes.
Empty.
So also we have a
Why?
problem.
Yeah.
We have a problem with this diphthong, as I told you. So this is hair, hair. Many people say here, here,
Hair,
here.
hair,
So, yes. So this diphthong is like bear,
bear,
bear, bear. But this is ear.
Ear.
But it had the same spelling like this. So many people say beer, beer, beer. Okay, so because this is ear, ear, and it had the same spelling here, so they make it's confusing actually
Mm-hmm.
because this is ear, it's the same here. So it's a bear, bear, bear.
Bear. Mm-hmm.
Yes. What about this word? Word.
Whirlid.
Well, well.
Whirlid. Whirlid. This is what I hear constantly with my students. Constantly I hear whirlid. Whirlid. There is no id in world. There's
Yeah.
world. It's only world.
And what
World.
about the plural of it?
World.
What about the plural of it?
Worlds. Yeah,
World,
worlds.
not worlds.
Worlds. Not worlds. No, worlds.
World,
Worlds.
world.
World. Now, I often say to my students, sometimes it can be because in British English, the R is very, very soft. So sometimes it's easier for students to actually produce the correct sound if they stress more on the R, like they do in America. In American accent, they will say world. So their R is a
Yeah,
lot more pronounced. So quite often, when you put the R and the L together there, it's just easier for them to say world, world. Um, but British accent, world,
yeah.
world.
It's said that in the British accent, it's non-rhotic accent. The R sound is not pronounced unless it's followed by a vowel. But in the American accent, it's a rhotic accent. It's the R sound is pronounced anywhere. So we say farmer, farmer. But in the American accent, farmer, farmer, farmer. So you pronounce the R sound in the American accent everywhere.
Mhm.
Also, this word is written in Arabic, word. And you know the program and the word
Microsoft.
program, yes, we say word. Write
Mm.
it on the word. Word.
Word,
Because we use
word.
it even in Arabic. And we
Mhm.
say it in Arabic, برنامج word.
Yes, word.
Okay. So we have also this, these words are commonly mispronounced because of the diphthong and the long vowel. We say oo. Yani we say boot, boot, boot. Okay. We don't differentiate between these vowels. It's not easy to differentiate between these vowels. Okay, so please, can you help us with them?
I can. Boat, boat. I want a boat to sail around the ocean, to sail around the world. Boot, boot. I will need to get some boots before I get on the boat.
Yeah, that's great.
So I went and bought some boots for the boat.
Yeah, that's great. You put all of them.
Boat, boot, bought. Boat, boot, bought.
Yes, here, right?
Here,
Yeah.
here.
It had the same pronunciation like here, the adverb here. Yeah.
Yes,
But
here and here.
what's strange is the past of it, although the past of it is just adding D, but it's not heard, it's heard. The
Heard.
vowel here, it changes into
Hmm.
That's
Yes,
why it's not a regular verb, so it's heard, right? It's like
yes,
the head of cattle, for example.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Same pronunciation. Yes.
Also, this word is sometimes heard wood.
Again, how do you hear it? How is it pronounced?
Wood.
Oh, so it's a longer ooh. Wood.
Yeah.
Wood. Wood.
So this is throw, throw, throw.
Throw.
The past
Throw.
is through,
Through.
through. And also it's homophone with this word through.
Through. Yes.
Okay, this is a listening quiz. You are all going to participate, please. You're going to listen carefully and write which word, okay, you
Actually,
listen.
sorry, Hisham, just to interrupt you there. Do you have the ability to do a poll? Instead of them writing the chat, they can just click on the poll. Just have a look in your controls at the bottom, maybe under the more button. Do you have the ability to set a poll? Not a poll, a poll. If you
More,
don't worry.
I,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. If it's easy access, fine. If not, don't worry. We won't spend time on it. I just thought it might be easier just to do a poll rather than everybody type, but that's okay. Yes, everybody's getting that one right. Oh no, Iman, no. Okay, good. So a lot of people got that one correct.
that's right.
Excellent. Next one.
Yes, number 2.
Pen. Yeah.
I think all of them got it right.
Everybody getting that right? Not when I did it the first time, though. The first time I said Ben, not pen, but I saw some people putting pen. Okay, next one. Heard.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
That's right. I think we got it right also.
Yes, I did. All right, next
Yes.
one. Call.
Yeah. That's great.
Good, good. Next
Yes.
one. Pin.
Yes. Please try to participate. Oh, someone is writing pin. This is not, it's not written here. We have 2 choices only. Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah. Pin. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
pun. We've got a pun
Pin.
there.
Yeah.
Ah, now that one caused a bit of difficulty for people. Because I actually said B. I said pin, not pen.
Pin.
Pin,
Pin.
pen, pin, pen, pen, pin. So I
Pin.
said
Yeah.
pin.
Pin. Pin.
Iman, whom, whom. That's the pronunciation, whom.
Oh.
Okay, the next one. Come.
Yes, the last one, please. I didn't hear it.
I said come.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Couple of B's there. No, a couple of B's, but I actually said A, come. The difference is come and comb, and the B is silent. So come, comb, come, comb,
Comb.
comb.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is the B is silent, but there is a great difference in the vowel.
Yes. Yes. So I actually said come. I said A.
Yeah. I think that's the end of the slides.
Okay.
Are there any questions that you want to answer or something? You said that you are going to answer some questions.
Yeah, I've got some pronunciation here. The word empty, empty, empty. Um, do we pronounce the P or we don't pronounce the P? Empty. The P is there, but it's not pronounced, like it's not really noticeable. Empty. Well, it does. No, it depends how you say it. Empty. Empty, empty. Oh, thinking about this now. The cup is empty. Yes, I'm saying it. I am saying that P, but I'm not focusing on it. It's not a hard P. It's it's just there a little bit empty. You will hear some people say empty without the P at all. So both are absolutely correct. There's no problem there.
Yeah,
Um,
you are right. It would be written in the dictionary, even in the transcription, but it's very difficult to
mhm,
pronounce for us because you would hear it in bitty. I know that they mean this in bitty. Some people would pronounce it in bitty because they can't say it, the three consonants mah, bah, tah, without inserting a vowel. It would be difficult.
mhm.
As you said, yes,
Um,
the P is there,
yes.
but the mah is bilabial and the pah is bilabial. So I don't say M, P, no, empty, MT. So
Empty.
the same place of articulation for ma and pa. So the smooth transition from ma to pa, okay, is just the ma is nasal and the pa is plosive, okay. So you move from ma to pa, okay, but without inserting a vowel because they have the same place of articulation, ma and pa. Okay, so you empty, empty, empty. Okay, but the problem, yes, in Arabic, most you can hear it. If they find it written in the dictionary, they say embitty. This is a common mistake.
Mhm,
Yeah, so that's why they are asking about it.
mhm. Okay. Another one was February. Nagwa, I will answer your question. I know you've written it a couple of times, and I will answer your question. Um, February, 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 February. No, we're not going to say February. It's February, February, February. Um, you might also hear some people saying February, February. So that is also correct. So February or February, but we're not going to say February. No, that first R is sort of removed. February. Um, Apostrophe is another word that was asked about. Apostrophe. Apostrophe. The E, we do actually pronounce the E at the end, apostrophe. We don't say apostrophe, it's apostrophe.
Yeah,
The difference between heart and hurt. So heart, as in elb, heart, and hurt. So my heart hurts.
Yes, right. Heart hurt.
Um, yes, heart and hurt.
There is a question, by the way. I'm sorry to interrupt you. There's a
That's
question
okay.
from Nagwa.
Yeah.
She's asking you, she wants to prepare for IELTS and she wants to contact you.
Mm,
How can she contact you? I think
yeah.
IELTS prep. We can write here.
Yeah, I'm just typing it in the chat box here. So I'll put my Facebook page here, IELTS Prep Egypt. That is uh, the Facebook
Okay,
page
thank
there.
you.
Thank you. And who else said so? Hang on, there's too many coming in. I need to go back. There was some other questions there after Nagua. Where, whoops, oops. Uh, can I pronounce clothes? Hang on, it keeps jumping. Stop jumping. Oh, can I pronounce the word cloth and clothes? Now, clothes is a tricky one. The same as months. They're both tricky because you've got the TH and immediately you've got the S straight after. So your tongue has to do a lot of work to go from between your teeth to say th to back inside to produce the S. So months, months, and
Yeah,
clothes, clothes.
actually, it's very difficult
Mm.
because here you would hear months.
Months, yes, it's much
You
easier.
would inherit
Clothes,
the vowel
yeah,
because it's difficult. As you
it is
said, it's
difficult.
just the movement, the smooth movement of the tongue from
Yeah, yeah. It's got to
it's like
come back in really quick. You got to be like a bit of a snake with your tongue to get your tongue to go back in. So yeah, I don't mean snake as in a bad way. I mean the animal, with the tongue.
but
um,
some remove the th and say
yes,
to make
some
it.
do.
What do you think?
Clothes, but you've got to be very careful with that. Now, I tell my students to be careful because if you remove the th, it can sound like close the door.
Yeah, yeah. In close, the dictionary provides us with this pronunciation. Close.
Yeah,
The
but the
dictionary
th
allows.
is there. The th is being said, but it's probably just very silent. Not silent, but quiet. It's not pronounced, meaning it's not strong. So clothes, um, but
Yes,
what
this
you
is
will
one of the
find is
pronunciations. Yes, this is one of the pronunciations, and this is the
mm,
correct pronunciation. But the dictionary provides another one, which is close, like close the door. The same. The dictionary
mm.
provide that this is also possible. Okay, not an alternative. It's also possible.
Well, from my perspective, even if it is in the dictionary, I would certainly be teaching my students to say clothes. I wouldn't, because unless they are very good with the language, if they're advanced users and we can clearly hear that they're saying clothes without the th, then it can cause problems with understanding.
Hmm.
So I would always advise, and I always advise my students, unless they are advanced users, don't do it. Say clothes,
Close.
rather
Yeah.
than trying, even if the th is weak, it's better to have that than say clothes. I went to the shop and bought some clothes. It it can cause a bit of disruption if the person doesn't really understand, especially if there is an accent involved in the conversation. So whilst when I say it, it might sound okay, but when a non-native says it, it might cause confusion. So that's why I always suggest to my students to make sure that they try as much as possible to put that th in there if they can.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
Mona said pen and pin and pen, you're absolutely right. Even native speakers, it can be a little bit confusing to hear. And in New Zealand, which also speaks British English, their pronunciation is different. So if you say fish, it's like a fish. So pen almost sounds like pin, because of the way they pronounce that. So yes, it can be difficult, but generally, if I'm having a conversation with somebody, I am going to understand whether they have said pin or pen. Generally, there could be some instances where there is a bit of confusion, but overall, no. What else do we have here? What's the next one? Can you see? There's 11 messages. I can't read them all. Can you see the next one, Hisham? Because it's jumping around.
We have the same problem with the word surprise. Surprise.
Surprise. What's wrong with surprise?
Yeah, maybe he means that it's divided into se and the prize. Surprise. Like this. They divided into two parts. So say surprise.
Oh, surprise. Surprise. We've also got prompt. Prompt. Yes, the second P is there. Prompt. Yeah, prompt. Again, somebody who's a little bit lazy or speaking fast might just say prompt without the second P, but it is there, prompt. If I'm saying it, I'm going to be saying prompt. The P is going to be there.
The second P is
yeah,
there.
it's there.
But
it's not
there is
overly
no
strong.
vowel.
Mm.
So it's
Yes.
not prompet.
It's not prompted. Yes. Prompt. Yes. Who else have we got? Yes, the lesson is recorded. Inshallah.
Yes, inshallah, it will be downloaded and then uploaded. We would upload it.
Okay, we've got schedule. Schedule and schedule. Both pronunciations are okay. British will say schedule. Schedule.
Yeah, schedule.
Americans say schedule. But you will find even some British people will say schedule.
Yeah.
But, so it's a real mix, that one. Some people say schedule, some say schedule. It's a real mix. Both are fine.
Yeah. Yeah, because it has become very, very common, the word schedule. Yeah. It has become very common.
We have a question there from Muhammad about an app. I just saw that. Where did it go? It keeps jumping around. The app. Is there an app? Could you recommend for us a good phonetics app to learn the sounds?
Could you please explain syllables?
Do you have, Hisham, do you have a good phonetic app?
Yes, there is. I cannot remember the name. It's called Phonetic Symbols, I think. It's an app. It's called Phonetic Symbols. It gives you the symbols, and also when you click the symbol, it gives you some examples and pronunciation of some. Where, for example, if I click pa, it gives me some examples of this sound. It's a pa, pen, okay, pan. So this is. I'm going to share it now. It's called, I think, phonetics phonetics transcription or something like this. I cannot remember, but I can share it with on the page. No problem, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. We've got another one here. Clothes, the same as youths. Yes,
Clothes
it's the
and
same.
youths.
Clothes, youths. but most people will say youths, youths, youths,
Youths.
youths. So youths. There's a lot of youths, but we will say youths. So I don't know. For some reason, that one seems a little bit easier to say. Youths. Clothes. Youths. Youths is much easier. I don't know why. It just is.
Youth.
Maybe because of the oo before. I don't know. Give us some pronunciation advice, how to improve pronunciation and fluency. I think, thank you, Iman, for that question, but I think that will have to be for another another webinar. That will be another time we could do to do that, because there's a lot of things that you can do for pronunciation and fluency. What's the
Sure, BBC Learning, Fatima or Fatma is saying BBC Learning is great. Yes, BBC Learning English is also great. As an application, it's great.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah. Luxurious. Sally's asking luxurious, luxurious, and luxury.
Luxury.
Luxury. Yeah. Luxurious, luxury.
Yeah.
Could we please explain syllables? Again, I think, Fatima, that is something that we would need to be doing in another webinar, but thank you for the question. What about grocery? What about groceries? Yes, groceries. I need to get some groceries. Grocery, grocery, grocery is the pronunciation, or groceries?
Grocery. It has O, like grow.
Groceries. Yes, groceries. Bakery, 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 bakery. One of my favorite places is the bakery.
Bakery. Yeah.
All right, I think that's all of them. I hope I caught all of the messages there. I don't think I missed any.
Like, just to say that inshallah there will be uh, a joint work, a joint course between us, between me and Miss Vanessa. You can follow that page, and inshallah it will be announced. Inshallah it would be great work. Great work. It will be announced soon. Inshallah, we're working on it. And we may have another webinar, inshallah, in the future to talk about this coming work, inshallah.
Yes, inshallah. Yes. So stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned. do we have a WhatsApp group? No. do we have a WhatsApp group, Hisham? No.
No. WhatsApp group.
Maybe we should get a WhatsApp
I have
group.
a Telegram channel. I have a Telegram channel. But we can have, inshallah, no problem. We can have a group for.
But thank you for asking the question. It's nice that you would like to join the group. And everything when everything's finalized. Hisham, could you write the link to the Telegram if that's what you'll want to share that?
Yes, it's called English Quizzes. English Quizzes on Telegram. English Quizzes. I write some quizzes, okay, with multiple choices, okay, and you can choose the correct. You can choose, and also I can send you that you can find the correct answer. Okay, it's a kind of a poll. Okay, so you can choose the answer, and you can find the feedback automatically given the feedback. Okay, so it's called English Quizzes. You'd find quizzes in grammar and pronunciation and idioms and so on. Okay. I really appreciate your participation and you cooperation, Ms. Vanessa. And actually, you, it was a very enlightening session, actually, for me, actually. And your way of explaining and your way of giving information, you were so generous, actually, in giving us all and answering all the questions. Okay. Thank you very much.
My absolute pleasure, and once again, thank you everybody for joining us and for listening to us, to what we have to say. So thank you very much, and I do hope that everybody benefited, even if it was just a little bit. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you again whenever we do it.
Inshallah, inshallah,
Inshallah. So
inshallah.
thank you again, Hisham, for asking me on the webinar. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Unless it's an online session, I'd ask you to join me with suhoor. Okay, but it
Well,
would
I've got a
be
I've
an
got a cold
evening.
I've
Huh?
got a cold cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you
All
very much.
right. You're very welcome. Thanks,
Thanks, Dr.
everybody.
Ola. Dr. Ola, thank you very much. Thank you.
See you,
Uh,
everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for your attentive listening and for your cooperation. And we are sorry for, I'm sorry if I delayed you. I don't know what time is it now. I'm sorry.
I, I'm not looking. I'm not looking at the time.
I cannot see it here.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, it slips, time slips unnoticed because it's a, I find I didn't search for the time because actually I enjoyed myself. Thank you very much, and may
Ah,
Allah.
it's 11:30. Thanks, Sally. Sally says it's 11:30. All right, it's time to go.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Assalamu
All right.
alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well,
Thank you.
walaikum salam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.